You're on the Unpopular Opinion Show with the Cajun conservative, Johnny Caruso. Welcome to the show. We're going to get into this video with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just unbelievable. You know, the amount... I really personally don't think people should be able to vote until they're 30. From 30 to 60. I remember being young, being a Democrat. Originally, I voted for Obama only because I knew he had more charisma than John Kerry. Didn't really start voting based on policies or even understanding policy until like I was 40 years old. I still was a Democrat. Hell, I voted Joe Biden. The whole Republican, racist, rich stuck with me for a while. And then one day, once I unraveled the truth, I realized when I was watching news, they weren't just reporting something hot off the press. They actually was calculated with their leading questions and how they wanted to perceive to the audience how this narrative went. And then once I realized that they were doing that, I wanted to know why. And I wanted to know if it was true and the facts behind it. And so, you know, young people are very impressionable. You know, they want to do what's right in their heart. So obviously, if they can vote, they'll do what they think is right. The truth is, everybody votes based on what they think is right. But it's really hard to get to the truth. It's really hard to get to the truth these days. You know, somebody could believe something for so long, you could put the truth in their face and they probably still won't believe it. You know, I grew up poor. I grew up in poverty around all black people, went to all black school. I was entrenched in that. Basically, my culture was black. Now I'm Italian and Cajun French, but my culture was black. And I know I had a great deal of empathy for the black race. And I just felt connections and voted that way. But once I realized that the Democrats were the problem, I couldn't vote that way no more. And I feel now that the culture I was raised in, I feel now that I'm doing them a favor by not voting Democrat no more because of what I now know about them and what they do. It's basically what they don't do. I mean, every Democrat city, you pay the most taxes for all these programs, they say. And at the end of the day, they got the highest crime, worst schools, worst bridges, you know, worse roads, but yet, you know, you pay all this tax money for what? For what? Republican cities, the people in Republican cities ain't gonna go for that. You know, you could manipulate your crime data and say, oh, crime is low over here. But if they look out their window and see drive-by shootings and people getting shot and killed every weekend, every day someone's getting killed, and schools are horrible, and the crime is high, and taxes are high, you're out of here. You're not getting their vote. But on the other side, they're never gonna run to the Republican Party, so they know, got you. I don't have to do nothing for your vote. You know, you're already convinced nothing will change anyway, so your vote is right in my pocket. But let's get into this video. Hear what Arnold Schwarzenegger has to say about the loss of Charlie Kirk. Let's get to it.
Unbelievable. I mean, this was a great communicator, a great advocate for the right, for Republican causes. And he had such a great way of communicating with the students that agreed or disagreed with him. And I just thought it's a human being. A human life is gone. And he was a great father, a great husband, and I was thinking about his children. They will only be reading about him now, instead of him reading to them bedtime stories.
That's deep.
I mean, it's just unbelievable of what is going on. So I was shocked when I saw this, as we all were.
Kirk.
I was very, very upset that someone's life was taken because they have a different opinion.
There you have it. You know, when he said, instead of him being able to read to his daughters, they're going to have to read to him, read about him. Man, that's sad. That is sad. You know, Charlie Kirk was a really good guy. And anybody who saw a clip that a friend gave them and thought, oh, he's racist, man, I challenge you, go watch 3 of his videos. Don't go in your algorithms. Just go to YouTube, Google Charlie Kirk videos. Google Charlie Kirk videos. And that'll bypass the algorithms that's giving you affirmation to the stuff you like to watch, you know. So just be unbiased. Just Google in YouTube Charlie Kirk videos. And go back prior to all of this, so it's not political or anything. And just watch 3 of his videos. The full video. You're going to see what I saw. He had difference of opinions. While it was political, it was driven by his Christian beliefs. He was kind of like a modern day Martin Luther King, a modern day Jesus, a modern day Jehovah's Witness. But he would go to the college campuses where he felt that in grade school, CNN, the news media was indoctrinating people with lies, and they was pushing this agenda on college campuses. So he would show up where they were at. He would have a talking point and say, prove me wrong. Come step up to the mic and debate me. He never went hurling racial slurs to people. He never went aggressively wanting to fight people. He never challenged people like that. He was peaceful, but said, come up to debate. 9 times out of 10, he would win the debate. Flat out win. And that would be it. And most of the people who would come and talk to the mic were Democrat. And they would say, Charlie, I love you, but I disagree with you here and there. So most of them still loved him. You know, when he passed away, millions of people marched in the street with a Cadillac visual from Spain all the way to Korea. That's not just some random person getting shot, some anybody. You know. Look, I don't believe in Jesus, but I believe in God. Okay. But I believe in Charlie. I believe in his story. The movie and the legacy. I feel like when Bruce Lee passed away before I was born, and there was this whole legacy about Bruce Lee, you know, and it just took off. It's like I knew him and he wasn't even alive. I feel like those in the next 10, 20, 30 years, they're going to hear about the legacy of Charlie Kirk. There's probably going to be the Kirk of Charlie, the Church of Charlie. It's crazy how big now the conservative movement. The Turning Point USA, the thing that he created to go and speak to these campuses, it's called Turning Point, because usually the youth, they get into politics and usually they become a Democrats because Democrats lie and give them free shit. And then the turning point is once they really learn what's really going on in politics, and then they turn toward the right. That's Turning Point USA. But they open, I think, 7,000 new chapters. They have chapters all across the United States. And after this event, they thought they was going to shut them down and silence them. They opened up 7,000 new chapters. Guys, go watch some Charlie Kirk videos. Educate yourself. Don't let, okay, you hate CNN, you hate Trump. You hate Fox, you hate Trump. Go watch, just Google Charlie Kirk on YouTube. Don't watch clips and what someone is talking bullshit about him. You go watch the full video of Charlie Kirk and you come up with your mind for yourself. Is he not speaking facts? Because we all know the truth hurts some people. Is he not speaking facts? And then at the minimum, ask yourself, okay, maybe I agree here, but I don't agree there. But did he deserve that? That's what you have to ask yourself. And does him and his family who's grieving deserve to now be made fun of and humiliated and people celebrating his death? Look, guys, that's it for now. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to keep y'all updated on what's going on in the news. We ain't going to stop. That was the show. Thank you for tuning in. If you agree or disagree, feel free to leave your comments in the comments section. This was the Unpopular Opinion Show. Go ahead and subscribe now if you haven't done so already. And I am the Cajun Conservative.